I'm making no secret that I'm a bit of a Fallout fan. I mean, hell, I have the. But long ago, I actually reviewed a story from the author Bankson03. It was a Fallout story in Ruby. I had given my thoughts and told him what worked, what did not work. I saw he made his remake, Remnant Wars Rise of America. I was assuming that he had taken my suggestions to heart, and I'm even working with Enclave Commando to make a version of basically Remnant Cold War, where a small landmass basically shows up in Remnant and literally changes Remnant's history. In fact, that story has gone and garnered a lot of views, a lot of good likes, a lot of good things, and me and Critical Darling are actually both very proud of that. The big thing, though, ladies and gentlemen, is that Bankson did not take my advice. Instead, he continues on with the same bullshit. I mean, he changed the format, thank God, to something that's actually readable, but he decided to take the radical, just way out of left field approach for this story instead of what I presented. And to remind people what I presented the idea that a small chunk of America Rising 2, or even a small chunk of still Fallout Timeline Enclave, basically shows up in Ruby, basically, before the events of Season 1, and radically changes the events of Ruby. Not too radically, mind you, where the story beats would still be the same, but just enough to where things would definitely change. Enclave Commando and myself have actually got a timeline idea, but this person has basically so far just... It is so far away from Fallout that he should have just gone with pre-war America at this point. It is basically Japan's Summons, but with a Fallout paint job. And I've reviewed a story like that already. I was going to save myself till chapter 5, but when I looked at, it's got 13 parts, I'm thinking, okay, you know what, it's probably something good. It is so many fucking red flags to this point that I'm not even going to read it. I'm literally to the point where I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to even review it. I can't. It is so detracted from what makes the story about Fallout and Ruby actually an interesting idea, to the point that he should just called it fucking Japan Summons or Enclave Summons by this point in time. It is so far just out of left field that I genuinely cannot bring myself to care about what happens. I can't bring myself to care outside of... It just drives me to work with Enclave Commando to actually make something that genuinely is like Cold War, that genuinely is something that actually is interesting, because I hate to say it, but having an overpowered faction to show up and actually wreck shit no longer is appealing, honestly. It's now a faction that struggles to actually build itself out, an actual political intrigue story, not a humanity fuck yeah bullshit that's just so overbloated and over just everything to the point that it's no longer appealing. I mean, the reason that Johnny Boy 11 stories actually work is because there's actual struggle, there's actual stakes, there's actual intrigue, there's actually something there that legitimately is entertaining. And the lore makes sense. The lore presented here makes zero sense. It doesn't work in the context. It doesn't work in the canon. It just feels like a mod, honestly. Like he's basically setting up for a fucking mod. And I can't bring myself to care. I literally cannot bring myself to care. So yeah. Look forward to Enclave Commando's version that actually is more along the lines of Remnant Cold War on Wattpad. And, yeah. Bankson, I hope this video actually gets you to realize something, I hope, because I'm not going to review it, but I know my friends will. So, as much as I am someone who wants to try and give people a chance, my friends, they won't. They really won't. Look forward to Enclave's Commando's version.